You can, in these applications occasionally, and I've done it myself, get enough of an arc that you actually melt the points closed, at which point you can't turn the bow thruster off, and the boat's doing donuts.
Hello and welcome to another one of our Ask the Expert sessions here at BoatHowTo. I'm Jan Attenstedt, we're talking to Nigel CALDER, and today we have another longer question about electrical systems. My boat has a bow thruster which I don't use very often. The relay burned out 3 years ago and I replaced it. The replacement burned out last year. I got a kit to replace the contacts in the relay and it works perfectly. The relay is rated at 250 amps and the thruster is 6 kilowatt. So at 24 volts there would be a current of 250 amps. I assume there is significant voltage drop when using the thruster. Not from the wiring, but from the batteries themselves when such a big current is being drawn, and that at peak there would therefore be considerably more than 250 amp flowing through the relay. I thought about getting a bigger relay, but 250 amps seems to be the biggest relay available readily. Can I parallel two relays so that the current flowing through each would be significantly lower than the 250 amps they are rated for? All right. Well, first of all, that's one of our students, and he did a lot of learning already on amps, volts, Ohm's law, relays. So that's pretty good. What's your opinion on paralleling two relays?
Yes, you can do that. There's no real problem with that, and that would certainly reduce the current flow. It's not the relays that are burning out. Listening to that, Jan, it sounds like it's just the points. And every time you've got one of these high current DC circuits, you make and break the circuit, you get an arc across the points, and that's what's getting burned here. Ironically, if there's significant voltage drop in the conductors up to that relay, or if there's two of them in the relays, that will help a little bit in arc suppression. You can, in these applications occasionally, and I've done it myself, get enough of an arc that you actually melt the points closed, at which point you can't turn the bow thruster off, and the boat's doing donuts. And that's why you have an emergency switch in these circuits, and you have to whack the switch and hope that it opens a circuit, because it too could arc across there and melt the points. There's something not right here, because that system is obviously designed for that relay. It comes from a manufacturer like that, and we have to assume that this doesn't happen on a regular basis. But the parallel relays would fix the problem. One other point here is that, let's say you did get to that situation where you melted the points shut and you use the emergency switch to break the circuit, or on the boat itself, you have a problem where you have a short circuit and you use your main battery isolation switch to break the circuit, to shut things down. When we use these switches as in an emergency situation like that, when they're under really high amps, we do damage the points. And if you ever have to do that on the boat and you have to use one of your battery isolation switches as an emergency switch under high loads, you need to replace the switch afterwards, because it's not rated to do that. It may be rated for 300 amps or 400 amps or 500 amps, but it's not rated to make and break that amperage. It's rated to be turned on with a very little load on the circuit, and then you can load it up to 300, 400, 500 amps, and then you take the load off and then you turn it off. But if you have to use it to make or break those kind of amperages, then you need to replace the switch, because you almost certainly will have damaged it.
So basically in the switch, the same thing happens that happened in his relay. Just that the relay is made to switch this, so it should do this for a couple hundred times ideally, but the switch is not made to break the high current circuit. Yeah.
Yes, yeah.
All right. Well, thanks for your take on that, Nigel. And if you want to learn more about all this kind of stuff and how to optimize your boat's electrical system, how to troubleshoot things, check out our marine electrics courses at BoatHowTo.com. See you soon.